When I was growing up, I was not allowed to try new things. The reason was simple. All of my parents' kids, three boys, I was the most protected. Where my two siblings started business, I couldn't, because for a long time I was told I was weak and needed protection. Moreover, I always had everything I wanted, so there was no reason to risk anything. Thus, I grew up being too afraid to try new things. I would never risk anything until I was sure it would work. And even if it would work, I was struck with the habit of procrastination. I didn't start anything on time, and if I did, I never always finished what I started. I always believed I would get lucky to succeed when I grew older because I always had whatever I needed when I was little. Years of not trying soon led to not making so much progress in my life. But all that changed when I was struck by confusion right in the university. I was meeting failure upon failure, and life wasn't as easy as I projected. Things became tough, and unfortunately, my parents who always showed up to help were not around to help. Thank God, I learned my lesson quick. I started reading books. I read books furiously, like they were my only hope, and truthfully, things changed. Over the years, I have learned just one thing about life. When I have a dream or a goal I want to pursue, I don't wait till tomorrow. If there's no point, I don't want to know if I have all the resources or if I don't. I go ahead to do whatever I have to do because I started believing when you start, the resources you need will meet you along the way. Richard Branson's advice for succeeding. Sir Richard Branson is a British billionaire and entrepreneur who is the founder of Virgin Airlines. I bet most young people have not read his books to follow his story. But Richard Branson is one man whose story of success is simple, yet challenging. As a boy of 16, he was diagnosed with dyslexia, a mental disorder that disallows the victim from being able to read and understand. As a result, he was a poor student in school. He was expelled from school, and he started his business of magazine printing titled The Student. As Richard Branson grew older, even as a dyslexic, he learned to identify opportunities, and whenever he did, he pursued those opportunities without delay. Once as a young person, when he was visiting his friend in another state, he and other passengers couldn't get an airplane to transport them. Instead of moping like the other passengers, Richard Branson saw an opportunity. He chartered an empty airplane and charged the waiting passengers for entry. With the money they paid, he paid for the chartered airplane and also made a profit. That was how Virgin Airlines started. Richard Branson has written a couple of books, and one of his books describes his philosophy for pursuing business. The book is titled, Screw It, Let's Do It. You see, in reading Richard Branson's book, I learned that when someone introduces a business idea to him, he doesn't fling the idea out the door. He identifies the possibility of its success and tells his associates to get to execute the idea. With this approach, Richard Branson has been able to create over 300 businesses. Every time some young persons come to me seeking advice on how to grow their lives, I am often surprised when I tell them what to do, and they tell me why it can be done. Richard Branson's advice to anyone who wants to succeed is screw it, just do it. By this, he meant screw the challenges you will face, screw your background that was never good, screw the failures and mistakes you've made in the past, screw the people who don't care about your dreams, screw the resources you don't have. Just get to it and do it. Richard Branson agrees that not everyone will agree with your dream. Not everyone will see things the way you see them. In fact, Sir Richard Branson's business methods are often mocked by most of his competitors. For example, in business, he believes that customers are not the most important, the employees are. He believes if you treat the employees well, they will in turn always be motivated to treat the customers well. So to him, employees are gold. Also, whenever his business creates a new product or he wants to establish a new service, he tests the product or service live, even as much as inviting the press to cover the test. He takes risks with his very life to test his products and doesn't mind that competitors think he's too stupid acting that way. This way, Richard Branson has continued to reach far more success than most people. If you're a young person who wants to succeed, don't ever believe that you have to always do it the way others are doing it. There was a time in my life when I chose to focus on online business. My family members mocked me, saying I would be poor. They were right, for a while, because I was so poor I couldn't take good care of myself. My older brother was doing so well with his offline business, he seemed like the favorite of the family. Until recently, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, did they realize this truth. Not mocking those who may be passing through a lot now. But I work from home, earning the bulk of my income just from home. I wake up anytime I want and work as hard as I want to. I screwed their judgment long ago that I couldn't make it in digital business, and see the result. The other side is that whether you like it or not, digital business is the future because businesses are going digital today. No thanks to COVID-19. If there is a dream in your heart, don't ever let anyone tell you it can't be done. Don't ever let even yourself tell you it can't be done. Screw your misgivings. Get to it. Start with what you have, and the resources you need will always come your way along the way. The woman who recognized opportunity. In one of his books, Sir Richard Branson told the story of a time when he once visited South Africa. As he was walking on the field, a South African woman ran up to him. The woman said, "Sir, give me this small amount of dollars and I will refund it in 3 months." Richard Branson was taken aback. First, the woman was bold to have come to him, an important billionaire. Second, she was funny to have asked for such ridiculously small money and still expect to pay him back. Well, he thought, since it was a small amount of dollars, he gave it to her, not expecting her to return the money. 3 months later, when he revisited South Africa, 2 women ran up to him. One gave him beautiful new clothes and another gave him wads of dollars. They said, "Sir, you borrowed our madame that amount of dollars 3 months ago. She started a fashion designing business with it. She bought machines with it and has successfully grown the business enough to even hire us." Richard Branson was blown away. That was a woman who wouldn't take no for an answer. That was a woman who recognized an opportunity and was determined to pursue it. If you keep delaying on your dreams, saying you will start when all things are well, here is one disappointing truth I want you to know. All will never be alright. Situations will never be perfect. You will never always have everything you need to start your own business. You will never know enough to build your own finances. If you cannot save a percentage from the little money you earn now, know that you will never save a percentage even when you start to earn more. If you cannot invest when you have the chance now, you will never invest when you grow older. If you cannot read good books to improve your life now that you're young, you will never be able to read books when you get older. The reason is simple. The older you grow, the busier you become. You will not have time for everything you have always wanted to do. Long ago, when I was much younger, I could read over 5 books in a week. Now, I don't even have time to read up to 3. In fact, I discipline myself to make sure I read now. It wasn't like that before. If you want to succeed, if you're going to make the most of your life, if you're going to abandon failure to achieve much success, know this truth. Waiting is for losers. This may sound proud, but that's the truth. You know people who will achieve their dreams by how they treat their dreams. I may not be proactive about a lot of things, but when it comes to pursuing dreams and achieving goals that will help my business improve, I don't wait to do tomorrow what I can do today. I start with what I have, because experience has taught me that what I need will meet me along the way. Richard Branson's advice to young people who want to succeed is this: screw it, let's do it. Throw away your excuses and get to doing what you must do to become the person you must be. If this video inspired you, like the video. We love you.